Hi everybody, it's Dyan here of Dylusions. We're here at Creativation 2020 in Phoenix, and I'm here with the lovely Scrap Time. It's great. So I'm going to do just a little, I don't know what I'm going to do actually, you know what I'm like, but I have got new collage sheets out. I am so excited for these. These have been in the works for 4 years because every time I got a lot, I used them. And then I had to make another lot more and another lot more. So I decided, because we were going to do a book, and then I said, you know what, that's too much pressure, let's do packs. So I have 2 packs. This is pack 1 and this is pack 2. And if you look on the back, you can see. So there's 16 full-size pages of images, and then there's 8 pages where all the images are half-size. Okay, and each pack is different. So you can see we have the full pages, and this is all art. Actually, that's the art for my bags. That's the original art that was for the bags. But the rest of it, everything else, was lifted straight out of my journal. So you can see this is all my art that's in there. So you too can look like me. So there's all kinds of different bits to use. And then we have the smaller sheets. Oh, they're upside down, I'm sorry. So you can see they're the half size as well. So there's 24 full sheets in there, and the same with this one. There's all lots of my different bits of art in there that you can just cut up and use. Now, all my samples are not made with this paper. Can you see? I don't know if you can see that they're shiny. Because this is pre-production. This is the proper stuff. We only get stuff like this till the last minute. So, and you don't want shiny for collage. If you have shiny, you can't ink it, you can't paint it, you can't write on it. So these, you know, all the samples will look shiny, but the stuff is matte. Okay, it's a really good quality paper and it's matte. And all my cutouts that I'm going to use today are shiny because they're already cut out. I might cut some of these actually and see if we can do it like that. And I've got lots and lots of samples. So I'm going to do something on a ready-made tag just to save time. So at the show I thought I have, these are just boxes and I cover them with my sticky back canvas. And this actually is my new sticky back canvas. So I've got new postcards, new sticky back canvas out. So this box here, this one has all my stamp bits in. Okay, I usually have more in. I've been making samples, but and then these here have like all the cutouts. But these are the shiny ones, so I can't really use them much anymore. So anyway, so I'm going to cut new out. But normally that's what I would do. It would be very rare that I would pick these and look through for images and things, but I'm going to. So these are done with, these are all done with the paints. I've brought 12 paints out this time. 6 of them match the inks I brought out in the summer. And then the other 6 are these, really, can you see, look, they're, I call them the cocktail paints. Here we go. And they're just really bright and vibrant. And you might have noticed the bottles have changed as well. We've got little bottles, but look at those. So that's what, these are the new paints and the cocktails. I've given them all cocktail names. I've got lemon drop, sour appletini, blue Hawaiian, and then I've got tropical sangria, mango punch, and strawberry daiquiri. Not that we drink much at all, but anyway, they're there. So I've got some tags ready. So let's decide. What should we go with? Right, I'm going to go with either of those. I'll know when I get something in here. So a lot of people ask me what these are. They can be anything. When I like something, I like the texture, whatever, I just cut it out in these sort of shapes, or I just cut squares. It doesn't really matter. And you can see in here there's all sorts to do. What I normally do is I look for a head. I need a head. So there's a page of heads. They're large heads. There'll be some smaller. There's some smaller heads. Sorry, everything's upside down. But you can see, so there's more. You see, look, there's more heads. So I'm going to go for, what should I go for? It's a bit weird, isn't it? Well, maybe won't go for that one. This one? Okay, there we go. Mark likes this one. So, head. And I just cut it off roughly to start with. Pretend like I'm King Henry VIII. Off with her head. So I just do it roughly to start with. But normally I would have a box full of all the cutouts. So I'm going to place that on. So now I need a body. So when I go through, I could, and this is what I do. You see, it could be that. I could put her on that body, or I can have them on these, all these different ones. Where's a larger? Ooh, that's quite nice. Let's have this one. And then if I wanted legs, I've got pages of legs as well that I could cut. So I cut it out roughly. And when I cut stamps, I leave a border, but when I'm collaging, I don't. I cut right on the end. But there is no right or wrong. You cut however you want to cut, okay? And so these are lifted from journals. Some of these journals are about 12 years old, some are new. So I'm gonna have, so because I've got these colours, I'm gonna use this. So that's what we've got there. Let me cut this out, sorry. I'm sure they'll speed this up, so don't worry. This is why it's always handy to have them cut out to start with. You could have chosen an easier haircut, Mark. Don't worry, it'll be fine, it won't take long. Because I'm never neat, I can't be bothered being, you know, so... Sorry, going as fast as I can. Nearly there. And these you can use exactly as they are, or you could alter them. You could go in, you could put spots in here, you could change the colours, you can write on them, you could chop the rose off the top, you could chop the rose off the head, you could put something else on. It's entirely up to you. You don't have, you know, people say, should I use them how you intended? And you don't know how I intended to use them, so you can use them however. So I always like to break the neck a little bit, so I always put it a little bit sideways. Let me have a look that way. If I put her there, just wondering about these fingers coming in. Oh yes, let's have these fingers. And that's all you do, you look through for something that catches your eye, really. And Christina, would you like this tag? She normally steals it off me, so I'm like, yeah, no. I don't think you got one last time, did you? Because I was running.
No, because it was just Ranger morning.
Yeah. So, and there's only 3 fingers, but it doesn't matter. You could use 2 fingers if you were feeling that way out. I'm going to turn her head that way and have this coming in as though it's stealing the rose, okay? And then people say, well, she hasn't got any arms. She doesn't need arms. You can tell it's a person, but you know, you could put an arm on, or you could find something that maybe looks a little bit like a wing. Oh, look at this. See this flower here? That could be a wing. Yes. So you can just improvise and do. Not the thing with collage is there is no rhyme or reason to it. It's just that you have fun. If you're looking, people say, oh, you know, what's the basis of it and what's that? You're not going to understand it. It's a case of just cutting and sticking and smiling as you do it, just enjoying it as you do. And you'll notice that I haven't glued anything down. I never glue them down because I might want to alter them. Sorry, somebody's shouting snack bar over. So, this will go, there we go. So that's going to be my, does somebody want to go and shut her up? Well, I'm fidgeting. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to stick it together. So I'm just going to put these separately. So that's set there. So then gluing, you should always glue whatever's underneath first. So when you look at this, this is underneath here. So if I'm doing something complicated, if I'm doing something that's got locks on, I'll take a photograph of it first because I usually forget what it looked like. And I don't take it off here, I tend to leave it on. So I'm going to take that out, and I always glue with my glue stick. I'm a glue stick girl, and the difference between my glue stick and everybody else's is my glue stick works. So that's always a bonus. But if you like, you might like gel mediums, they will always work as well. The only thing you wouldn't use is what I call a wet glue. Now, a wet glue is something like a PVA or an Elmer's. That will make your paper wrinkle. You don't want that at all. It'll make it really hard to use. So can you see I kept the body there, so I knew exactly where to put it. So now I can take the body off, and I can just she's still going with her snack bar spiel. Oops, there we go. So position that on, and then I'm going to have her head on a tilt, aren't I? Yep. So every now and again you'll have to wipe this mat because it'll build up with glue, and the best way to wipe it is just a piece of dry kitchen roll, and it will just rub off. But if you don't, you'll start picking up that glue on the wrong sides. So I'm going to tip, let me have a look, I want the rose to, there we go. I'm going to press, and with something like this you can either put it over or you can put it a bit higher and draw a neck. Again, it doesn't really matter. So then I'm just going to do the hand, and then I'm going to put the hand reaching out for the rose over the top. And that's as simple as it is. Nothing means anything. I just like it. There's a little bit of glue. Ooh. Here we go.
Grabbing Karen's water.
So just, oh yeah, so just take, and then I always just go to the mat, and you can see this, the longer you leave it, the easier it will come off. But can you see the glue just rubs straight off on there? Then I'll turn it over and trim anything. I just go to the back, anything that's protruding, I just trim. I never trim anything to fit because it's usually changed shape by the time I've stuck it on. So we've got everything down there, and then the next thing I would do is I outline everything. I don't normally do it straight away like this because I like everything to dry. This might still have some glue around, but at the moment it just looks as though it's stuck on there. But if you take a pen, a black pen, and if you just outline round everything, it'll give it what looks like a bit of a shadow, so it'll give it some depth. Can you see the difference at this side to this side? You don't have to be neat because I'm never neat. I'm usually doing this on aeroplanes and things like that. So I would probably make, oh gosh, at least a dozen tags before I would even. I tend to make all the backgrounds, then do all the collage, then do all the outlining, then put all the, I tend to work sort of production line. Oh, and I'm never neat. You can be neat, I'm not. I can't be bothered. So I'll just go in, and that really just makes it sink down, it beds it down into the tag. So then I'll just come around here. I use paint pens, but you could use any. You don't really want to use a gel pen because a gel pen's going to run. Okay, so but you could use one of those thin Sharpies. You could use, I'm trying to think, can't think of one of the makes of pens, but you can see how it's down there. And then if you wanted to, you could take a paint pen, you could change the colour. If you don't like these black nails, you could change them. They could be red. You could put spots. You could go in and you could put spots in the rose, so you could make it different. I'm just going to do a few of them, so I'm just going to do these outer petals. But can you see how it changes? It'll just change it round. It's my art, but you can do whatever you want to it. And then the other thing that I quite often do is I doodle the stencil. So these are stencils on the background, and I just doodle really badly. Look. Again, I wouldn't doodle when I've first done them. Everything's got to dry. But I don't think, there's not much of my work that's not doodled because I'm a big doodler. I'm a very bad doodler, but I don't care. That's the difference. So, here we go. I just love stuff like this going on in the background. It just makes it not seem so bare. And then the last touch, let me put something down here. Some more circles, some more squares. Okay, and then the last thing I would do was put one of my sweet sayings on. So I have 2 new sets of back chat. I have... They're both exactly the same sayings, they're just different. I have white with black on and I have black with white on. So that's what they look like, but they're each pack is the same, just a different colourway. Because sometimes I never know what I want on there. So this has things like, no, this is me, nothing makes me more productive than the last minute. Let me file that under no thanks. Oh yes, let's have that. Let me file that under no thanks. And these you just peel off. These, I have back chat and these are called bigger back chat. And you just peel them off and you snip them where you want them. So that's, now peel that off, file that. Let me turn it that way, then you can see. Under no thanks. Okay, and then I'm going to take the pen again. There we go. And I just like to, loosely. Doodle around. And there you are. Collage is easy when you know how, isn't it?
Thanks for watching. Be sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to Scrap Time videos for all the Creativation 2020 coverage.